Why are you here? Get lost. What is that? Where is this? What is happening? How? What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben, and today I'll be reacting to The Legend of Korra Season 3, Episode 1. Now, I'm kind of just curious to get this season started, because the way last season ended, you have the spirit world and the mortal world becoming together and like connected now, more than sort of it was before. Because now, essentially, the Avatar is no longer the bridge. So what are they meant to do? I would assume just be a guide. They're meant to be a teacher to help people work with spirits now. But I'm just very interested to see what the world is going to look like now, with spirits just being able to come into it. We saw how that kind of looked with one, and how that did not really go well for humanity. So I think it's just going to be very interesting to see if after all this time, anything has changed. Can humans cope better, or will the whole world just be overrun by spirits that just destroy everything? But yeah, I think just my main hope for this season is for the core 4 characters to just work together a bit better. Last season, it was good with just focusing on Korra and just getting her some development and finding out who she is besides from the Avatar. Mako had his whole thing, Bolin had his whole thing with the acting stuff. Asami got completely neglected. So I'm just really hoping this season treats them all better and that the plot basically just allows them to be all on the same footing, because last season there's no way for Asami to do anything. It was against this whole cosmic threat. Asami could literally do absolutely nothing. I'm just hoping we take a step back, it gets a bit calmer, and it just gives Asami, Bolin and Mako something to do alongside Korra, where it's not just her, but they can all work together. But yeah, as always, if you do enjoy this video, please remember to like and subscribe, as it really does help the channel to grow. And if you do enjoy my content and you want to help support the channel, I do have a Patreon, the link will be in the description. Over there I'm uploading these videos and the full reaction a week in advance. If that's something you're interested in, feel free to check it out. But with that said, let's just dive on in.
Harmonic convergence created an energy shift, and after 2 weeks, Republic City continues to...
Only been 2 weeks, nice. So it's still very recent, but we can see what kind of imminent changes have been made. Temple Island seems rather untouched, good.
Come back, Boomju!
Really want to go over a cliff? Doesn't seem like the smartest idea.
Sweater I made you, that's fine. I'm sorry I got mad.
This ain't gonna end well.
Can we go down now?
Did you see any other way that ending differently? What?
I'm airbending.
Okay, that's interesting. He actually did the movements and everything as he fell. Okay. He can airbend now? Is that like a latent thing that you just didn't know? Or is that with the consequences of the whole spirit? Whatever. Oh, and a bunch of them. Cool. Where are you? That didn't do it.
I can vanquish Vatu, but not a bunch of stupid vines?
I'm sure you'll find a way.
And she's gone back to being frustrated.
I don't think the people who used to live here are as excited about it as you are.
Oh, that's in Republic City. Is that spreading, or is it staying in one place? This could be very interesting. There's one issue that is... Oh, dear, look at that.
Mr. President, are you concerned that your approval ratings are now nearly as low as the Avatar?
Oh, of course, everyone hates everyone. Okay, but it's interesting. Is there becoming a bigger problem with... Can they still live in harmony? That's the thing. Are the spirits encroaching on the human stuff more, or are they just in this little pocket of area?
There's a tree growing right through my office. You think I'm not doing everything I can to get rid of it?
And get rid of a tree? I mean, it's kind of nice. What harm is the tree doing?
Listen, I've been trying everything I can think of to get rid of these vines, but...
Why can't you fix this?
Why must you interrupt her?
Is this part of your new world order? Look!
She didn't think of it that far ahead.
Put us all in a very difficult position, but my administration...
Oh! I'm sorry.
Ooh, okay, nice. Don't let him put you down. He messed up. He didn't send the army. He could have helped more.
That's all. No more questions.
I love Len. How come she isn't president? I feel like she would do a good job. She just diffuses everything.
We'll figure something out. Easy for you to say. You don't have my poll numbers.
Why do you care? It's not like they can re-elect a new Avatar.
You are not going to believe what...
Can you do it again? Or is it like a fluke thing?
What is it? What's wrong?
Okay, Boomju and I had a little fight. I made him the sweater and he didn't see...
Get to the important bit. Boomy, I love you, but please, get to the important parts.
I was a little hurt.
Hilarious. Time for dinner.
Yep, not gonna listen.
Check this out. I can airbend.
You had to do the movements before. Do the movements again.
Oh, hold on. I just... Maybe if I...
Like, what would... I really want to know what Tenzin would think if he can actually prove it. Like, because Tenzin was, like, the last one. How would this change the family dynamic if there's now 2 airbenders that are grown up in the family?
What's up with him?
Boomy says he airbended earlier, but he can't now. Oh, and I guess he's not very good at knitting either.
Like, that kind of is the conclusions from that story.
You got the grumpy dad, the wacky uncle, the put-upon mom, crazy kids.
Where's Mako? Are they just... Is everyone living here?
I told him Tenzin invited us to stay here since our apartment is a vine habitat now, but he said he had to focus on work.
Okay, so he's just gone into all that because they broke up, I remember.
Oh, did you see that? I think the napkin...
I think anyone can do that.
Maybe I can only do it when my life is in danger. Bolin?
You did the movements. Copy a movement that they do.
Look alive, Uncle Boomy!
There's... Oh!
I told you!
And yep, just shot. That's it. Okay, that kind of... Is that not advanced? Catching an object in like a little cyclone?
Actually an airbender.
Wait until I tell Mom.
Oh yeah, what will Katara think? Oh, that's such a good point. Like just having another airbender in the family. How is this going to change that dynamic? Would Kaya feel like left out, seeing her 2 brothers have airbending and like that's what her dad wanted? Seriously, you're just allowed to live here?
Police? You what? Slow down.
He's got a sleeping bag under the desk. Is it just so he isn't around Asami and Korra? Because, like, what happened with the relationship with him and Asami then? Because that seemed like it sort of came back. But then, of course, she was angry. Would he not go back to that? Or at least try?
He was creating this storm like...
Like what?
Well, like he was airbending.
Okay, no, okay, so it's more people. Not just Boomy, it's more...
He was freaking out, yelling, "What's happening to me?" Then he ran into the back room and locked himself in.
How is this... It's the harmonic convergence. That's what's done it. How is this working? Is it just random people? Are we gonna... Is it just for non-benders? Or, like, is this changing for, like, people that already bend? Okay, yeah, that, great.
I'm so sorry!
I don't think you need to freak out about it. It only happened... Okay, no, he can just jump with it now. Okay, this is interesting.
Airbending!
Yeah, you need to go to Airbender Island to deal with this.
Being in the spirit world during harmonic convergence could have given him bending?
I suppose it's possible.
Yeah, but how? How is it connected? It was the lion turtles that gave bending. How on earth does the harmonic convergence do this? So it's interesting that they're not even considering that it was just latent in him and just didn't manifest till now.
You won't believe this. Boomy just started airbending.
I'm afraid he's not the only
And it's a much bigger thing than you think.
Guy who just started airbending out of nowhere.
You mean there's another one? Where is he now?
I like that he sounds so hopeful. He's not like... Because, yeah, that was my concern. Maybe he just didn't like the idea of him no longer being the special last airbender. What is he going to think? Now, there's so many in the world. Of course, he's like the one that's just highly trained. But what is he going to think now? I hope he's just happy to see a bunch of other airbenders just alive in the world now.
You know you're welcome to stay here instead of sleeping at the police station.
No, I'm fine.
Just awkward. It's the relationship drama still. How? They're not. No one's together here. How is it still here? Can he not just be friends with these 2? Is it really that difficult?
New airbenders in the city? I bet we can find that guy before Mako does.
Korra driving?
You're the Avatar, master of all the elements. You should know how to drive.
Then that kind of makes Asami redundant.
Clutch! Clutch!
Oh, it's like me when I do my driving lessons. It's not good.
When I was gone, did he tell you that we broke up?
Yeah, we all knew.
And you kind of got together.
While you were gone, I kind of kissed him.
There we go. Okay, I mean, it was good.
No wonder he's so nervous around
I'm
us.
glad that she is just happy now. There's less frustration and it's just...
But when he was going out with you, so...
You what?
I'm so sorry.
I'm just kidding.
I like this. We're seeing bonding between these 2. This is something that's been desperately needed. Asami was basically just Mako's girlfriend. Then she got a bit more, being the villain's daughter. Then forgotten about. Now they're already doing some more with her. Thank you. Was that vine not there before?
Don't ask me, Avatar. You made the world this way. We're just living.
Are the spirits not even happy with this arrangement?
Spirits, vines, we're all the same. Seems like the Avatar would know that.
So there's still stuff you don't know and you need to learn. So you can mess with the spirits with bending. Can you do that with the vines?
Spirit just gave me an idea how to get rid of these vines. But I'm gonna need a lot of water.
It's the same thing. Okay, so you can fix the vines.
It's like a dream, Dad.
They fixed the statue. They got it back up. Batu's he took it down, but yeah, it's back. Amazing.
When a new guy gets airbending, does that make him our brother?
Well, in a way, all airbenders are...
Monkhood, yeah, sure.
I mean, I have to share my room because I like my personal space.
Of course.
How busy is Airbender Island gonna get? Are they gonna... It's kind of a small island. What can they do?
I want to be a commander like Uncle Boomy.
Oh dear.
Air nomads don't have armies.
Yeah, pacifists.
Maybe there will be enough to fill the temples again.
Oh, I love how happy this is making him. Seeing the tears in his eyes. I can just imagine seeing all the temples coming back to life with a bunch of people in them now.
But I think the new airbenders will need lots of help and guidance to understand what it means to be a part of our nation.
This is perfect for his character. Being this teacher that only could teach a few and just burdened by just seeing the world almost forget his culture. Now it all comes back and he can spread it to all new people and it won't die out.
I hope this works. What are you guys doing here?
I don't like the president anymore. He's getting annoying.
You had a new plan to wipe out these noxious weeds, so I thought you'd want everyone to be here to watch.
I feel like they're talking about it the wrong way. I really hope this works. Because yeah, you're going to do the spirit thing with the vines, right? That's what I'm assuming. Because you did it with Vaatu. So, and if the spirits and the vines are the same thing, should work. But are the vines a negative spirit? The whole point of this was to calm spirits. I mean, I guess they disintegrated, but like, would that work here? They're reacting to it, so that is something, but can you do that to the entire city? And the spirits are still here, wouldn't they just keep doing this? Was the vines like just an entity in itself?
How soon can we expect public water service to resume?
Okay, no, that's come back worse. That's come back so much worse. Okay, so that didn't work. I feel like she needs to understand the motive here, and it's spreading, it's getting much, yeah, it's getting some... They're destroying a building. What did you do? Okay, stop it. What is happening? I am so lost.
Let's go, people! Hurry!
Is this an attack? Is the spirit vines attacking because Korra tried to mess with it? Is it not? It's a spirit, so should it be able to talk or something? Oh, great. Oh, and she actually has a glider too. That's awesome. Set it down. Yep. What about the rest of this all? This is not good.
I think that could have gone better.
Could it have, like, what else could you have done? I felt like that was a brilliant plan, but you just don't know enough about the vines.
I thought that if I really tried, I might be able to contact my past avatars. Someone who knows something to help.
Come on, get the connection back.
I can't. They're gone.
Don't say that. There must be a way to bring them back.
Did I ruin everything by leaving the spirit portals open?
You did what you thought was best for the...
It's an experiment. Go with it. Try it.
I know the people's point of view. It's bad.
Because it interrupts their way of life. As soon as they get used to it and you can find a better way around it, I'm sure it can sort of sort itself out.
Is to bring balance to the entire world. And that means no matter what you do, some people are not going to be happy.
Yeah, because it involves change.
What you did during harmonic convergence may have brought back the Air Nation.
This is so cool to think about.
Only be good for restoring balance. That is the act of a great avatar.
That's so true. That can easily be part of her legacy. Aang defeated Ozai, who was a part of the 100-Year War, and now Korra brings back the Air Nation, completely undoing what Ozai did. Again, a brilliant balancing act.
The cops found the new airbender guy, but when they tried to bring him in, he ran away and climbed to the top of Kyoshi Bridge, and he won't come down.
Right. Okay, so guy is on a bridge. That doesn't sound good, but again, airbender, so it should be kind of fine. So you got so many points of chaos going on in the city. Spirits and all this stuff now going into it, and then airbenders joining this mess.
Come down immediately, or we will be forced to take action.
I don't think that's the best way to get him down. I don't think he can get down.
I'm dangerous!
Tenzin, you need Tenzin. He think...
Sorry!
They can, grapple. He thinks he's dangerous. Okay, that's easy to deal with. You need Tenzin there. He doesn't understand the power. Use Tenzin. A glider, really? I don't think that's going to work. He's just going to... You saw him just knock off a bunch of people with airbending. He could easily just blow you away too.
I don't know what I'm doing and I don't want to hurt anyone!
Tell me about it.
Could people have forgotten what airbending looks like? Because, I mean, Tenzin's around, but how many people see him on a daily basis and see what he does?
Actually, they're really excited to meet you.
I don't want to be an airbender. Please, you're the avatar.
She could take away the ability.
I'm sorry. I can't. I promise you, things will get better if you just...
You can take away bending. You could solve that for him. If he really does not want to do it, you could take away the bending. Gonna fall. Yeah. Okay, but you reached out. That means that is an option. So he might not want to do it now, but there seems like there's an opening there. He opened his mind a little bit. He reached out. He might want to learn. But that if someone really does not want to do this, you could take the bending away.
I've never met a new airbender before. At least not one whose diaper I didn't have to change.
Just fell off a bridge, so I could use a fresh diaper right.
Absolutely lovely. How is this going to work? Because all airbend...
We have a crisis every other day now, thanks to
What are you... why are you here? Get lost.
Tough time getting used to these changes, and I'm sorry for that. You and everyone else are gonna have to learn to...
I can see what he's doing. His poll numbers are low, so he's trying to get all the blame over to Korra. If he sides with the people, he looks better.
I order you to leave this city. You've caused nothing but trouble since your
That's just a stupid idea. It might give you a bump in the polls, but as soon as the problems continue, that's all going to fall back on you. President's an idiot.
I can see my path now. There are new airbenders out there, and I'm gonna find them and rebuild the Air Nation.
Would this be across the entire world, right? So that could be North Pole, South Pole, Fire Nation, Earth Nation. All of them are going to have airbenders. It's not just in Republic City. That is huge. What is that? Where is this? What is happening? Metal bridges that extend, awesome. Like, I've got other questions about airbending and how this will work, because like these are just people. Air Nations were born into culture. Would someone come over to Airbender Island? Would they integrate? Are they allowed? What if they don't want to integrate? What if you have someone from the Earth Nation? Would they want to just become part of the Air Nation?
You know the drills are here.
Of course.
Zahir, big villain, maybe. Are you going to be the? You look villainous here. In prison with a lot of security.
It is said that he unlocked the secret of weightlessness and became untethered from
weightlessness? Really?
40 years without ever touching the ground.
What? Flying?
How you plan to escape? With something you picked up from an old airbender children's?
Who is this guy? Why is he in prison?
Lahima once wrote, "Instinct is a lie, told by a fearful body, hoping to be..."
Interesting poetry, wow.
You blind yourself to the possibilities of a new reality.
Okay, great. So he has airbending too. So this is technically Korra's fault. Who is this guy? Why is he here? Why is he in prison?
You're not a bender!
Nature is constant.
So he's not a bender at all, and he has this level of security in the prison. And he's already this masterful, it seems, with airbending. How? Jumping is reflexes? Nope. Yeah, kick it. When is this? How long does it? It feels like he's practiced this. And if he's in that kind of tight prison, I imagine he could have done this quite a bit unsupervised. And he's not. That's precise.
It's the dawning of a new age. The end of the White Lotus.
White Lotus.
And soon the end of the Avatar.
Okay. Fun. Okay, you're the villain. Right. Oh dear. Okay. First off, good start, I guess, for villain. Just jumping. Not some cosmic threat. Just a man who has airbending. Airbending villain. And done. Okay. That's already getting me so interested. Right. So, just talking about the thing at the end there, because that's grabbed my attention so much. Zahir, obviously the villain, kept in a very high security prison in the mountains with an extendable metal bridge with so much security. And he's a non-bender. This just tells me his crime must be astronomical. What on earth has he done that requires that level of security? I mean, it makes me think that he must have been just incredibly capable before, I guess, airbending anyway to acquire that. Even no matter what the crime is, he must be just incredibly talented at... you don't want to lock him up in a cell like, I guess, Varric had, because he can get out of that somehow. Maybe he's just super strong and was able to move bars and get out. Maybe it's a manipulation tactic that you can get people, because he's guarded by the White Lotus, which is a big group, so maybe it's a manipulation thing that you can use. There's so many ideas you can pick up just from how he's being kept in prison here. Then he's reading poetry, airbending, and he has airbending as well. So yeah, lots of things to think about. You can see the Air Nation, and it's not all good. It's gone to some bad people. That's fun, great. Airbending villain has me very excited. So we've had now a technically non-bending villain, actually no, waterbending villain, another waterbending villain, bloodbending villain, also kind of with the waterbending, Fire Nation villain, and now an airbending villain. Interesting. This is making me so excited to see how they can do and work with this. I'm completely looking past everything else that's happened in this episode. I'm just completely zoomed in on this guy now. There's such a good way to introduce the antagonist. And I just love how he's introduced. Reading poetry, talking about instinct and how it's a irrational fear of the body. Then actually talking about a air nomad who lived 4,000 years ago that somehow managed to fly. Maybe not fly, just anti-gravity. Never touching the ground. So I guess a constant state of airbending. But yeah, I think the thing I'm most hung up on is how on earth he's gotten so good at airbending so quickly. I'm guessing he's just a very good fighter. Would explain why the high security, and that's managed to translate over to airbending. But how on earth did he figure it out? Either it's a fluke, and he somehow realised he had it, fine, Or maybe he somehow knew it was coming, which could, that feels weird. Maybe he knew it was coming so he could prepare. I just feel like I should expect a lot from this villain considering the security that he's gotten and just how well he's been able to escape and yet do all of this. But it seems like his main enemy is the White Lotus. There's a lot of detail in these words. White Lotus came first before the Avatar. So it's the White Lotus that he's after, then the Avatar. So the Avatar isn't priority, the White Lotus is. What on earth did the White Lotus do to him that the Avatar maybe didn't? So much to think about with this villain. Very intrigued to see where this can go. This also means that the rest of the group can do something. It's not a cosmic threat. This is something that all of them can go after. Asami can even go after him. Perfect. Yeah, then the rest of the episode. So, you have Korra dealing with the aftermath of the harmonic convergence and what she did there. The world is changing. We're seeing the effects. This could be interesting too. We're seeing the effects only in one city. What's it like everywhere else? Like, would all the nations kind of be her enemy at the minute? What would they all think? Yeah, so we're seeing the vines and all of this stuff. So weird things are happening. The spirits are encroaching into the city. They're starting to be there. Spirit wilds are forming. We don't really see how dangerous it is for people. I mean, can they still live there? Can they just walk into the forest and go into their apartments or something? Can that still work? There's just a lot we don't know, and it's just, we're seeing the immediate reactions of change. They're finding things difficult to move around, they're seeing obstructions, and they want it fixed. They want life to go back to how it was. That said, they're not really giving the change a chance, and the president is just going off immediate reactions, seeing his polls are down, so I'm guessing that the election must be soon. He's seeing that his polls are down, and he's trying to hop on the bandwagon of put all the blame on someone else. Try and avoid it and try and just escape this sort of time and try and get the blame off of him. He's probably one of the biggest people at fault, because if he sent his army sooner to the North Pole, that could have helped stop Unalaq. That could have easily avoided all of this. Korra might not have even opened the spirit portals if Unalaq had been dealt with sooner. The president has a good chunk of the fault here, but he's trying to shove it all off onto Korra, so I don't like him anymore. So why can't we get a good leader of Republic City? I feel like Lynn would be perfect. She's just brilliant, and we've got to see her just calm everyone down and diffuse the situation very quickly between Korra and the president. But I also love Korra's confidence here. She seems so much more confident in her public perception of things. She's not worrying about what people think of her. She's worrying about her job right now. That's much better than what it was in season 1. All that time, she was just focusing on how the people see her. Is she doing a good job? All this stuff. Now she's trying to think, I've got to help people. I don't care what you think. I'm going to try things because no one knows what to do. I'm going to try things and try and get things sorted. Much better. And then we have airbending being brought in. Bumi's got airbending. That's one thing. Quite glad Asami didn't. I thought that would have been an easy thing to do. Glad Asami doesn't have it and she stays non-bender. And now, because, yeah, she's already seeing more bonding between Asami and Korra, so she's getting more connections throughout the group. Season 2, I guess, kind of did it with her and Bolin, but it was brief. Hopefully they can do more with her and Korra, just get her to be more synced up with the group, so that it isn't just she was Marco's girlfriend, now she's here. Have her actually form good friendships with everyone, and just have her contribute more to, I guess, fights and just the main plot. Yeah, Bumi has airbending. More people have airbending. Love Tenzin's reactions to this, seeing that the world is sort of healing and that the trauma caused by Ozai is healing and going away. Him wiping out the airbenders is being undone. This raises so many questions. Like, this is going to be global. This is going to be in the Fire Nation, in the Earth Nation, Water Nations. This is huge. Because Tenzin already has his heart set on trying to have enough people to fill the temples again. My concern is, would people want to do that? If you have a Fire Nation citizen who maybe loves the Fire Nation, doesn't want to move, and is just happy there, gets airbending, what's going to happen if Tenzin says, okay, you're coming with me, you've got airbending, you've got to ship off to go to one of the air temples and embrace our way of life? Because Tenzin, he is entrenched in the culture, he's going to want to keep that going. He's going to want to teach every airbender Air Nation culture and bring them all into it. I don't see that working. You can already see it in his eyes, because airbending to him isn't just the ability, it's everything that comes with it. And being an air nomad. No one's even mentioned if people would be willing to leave their homes and go with him right now. And I can see that being a huge conflict for something for him. But I like where this story is going for him, because this could be, because we've gotten him sorted with how he sees himself as Tenzin now, not as a reflection of Aang. He has a new purpose now, teaching people airbending. But the conflict will be, how much can he teach them willingly without them sort of digging their heels in? Because it's not, you're trying to teach airbending to people from other nations now, and I don't see this going well. There's going to be a huge conflict between people that actually want to go to the air temples and become pacifists, vegetarians. I don't know. Yeah, I think vegetarian is throughout Air Nation. It's going to be a huge change for anyone. So he's going to be dealing with the same thing as Korra. Everyone's dealing with change. Tenzin, his whole thing is going to be dealing with change, and maybe he has to change as well. Maybe Air Nation society as a whole is going to have to change. And Korra's dealing with how the world has changed in general with, hopefully hers focuses more on the spirit stuff. Tenzin can focus on the airbending. But I just love how kind of just a big chaotic mess it is, because now there's so much going on, and I love what this episode did. Airbending, spirits, Zahir, and just this villain who's against the White Lotus and all this stuff who seems incredibly capable. A lot has happened in this one episode. And I also will say I really do like both reactions to getting airbending. We saw two people, Boomy and the other guy. Boomy loved it. I guess he felt closer to Aang maybe, and just his father, and just he wanted to show it off. He got the power and he wants to use it, that sort of thing. The other guy, scared out of his mind. Good reaction considering how rare airbending is. It's likely he might have never seen it. Tenzin is there, but of course his kids don't airbend Island. Tenzin comes and goes. Maybe he saw it during the whole thing with Aman. There's a good chance he never saw it before, and this is completely new to him. Of course, they don't see airbending like how we do viewing the show. They're just seeing things move on their own and him just blasting a door and people moving. He's not seeing how we're seeing it. So that's got to be so terrifying. I kind of hope that maybe we get to see one scene through the eyes of like someone in the show, so we don't get to see all the effects of the air. We just get to see people using it how would they see it. Because that, I think, adds a lot to this guy's reaction, because we're seeing him bend the air and throw people off the bridge. But of course he's seeing it like he's moved his hands and they've just gone flying. That's got to be so terrifying. And I cannot wait to see what the rest of the reactions to people are all across the world. Because now Korra has been banished from the public city thanks to the stupid president. So now hopefully we get to go to the Fire Nation finally, and maybe the Earth Nation, and just get to see what else is going on with places. Not only people are getting airbending, but let's see how the spirits are working in the rest of the world too. To begin, I really enjoyed this episode, and this made me so hopeful for this season. Like after season 2, that one was okay, but you can see where it had a lot of messes, and just the plot got way too big, and it basically meant that you had to forget a lot of the characters because only Korra can actually deal with this. Here, already off the bat, the villain seems smaller. The plot seems smaller. You have some spirit stuff, but it feels more contained and something that the rest of the cast can actually keep up with. So already one of my biggest hopes for the season met. Unless they somehow manage to spiral out of control and make another harmonic convergence or something, and it's just some way that only Korra can actually do something. But so far, seems good. But yeah, looking at Korra, I love that we're already seeing some changes from her. The first thing we did see was her frustration at the spirits, but we can see what's actually happening. The people of the city don't like her, but she's kind of not letting it get to her. Yes, she's frustrated, but it's not like season 1. She doesn't really care, and she's not trying to live up to everyone's idea of the Avatar. She's trying to do it her way. She's trying to do her own thing as the Avatar, and she's not worrying about what other people are saying. She's getting annoyed at them, yes, but she's not changing what she's doing because of it. She's trying to help. Even when they're hating her, she's still trying to help. She's trying to do good things. And even after being banished from the city, she's still trying to do good things and live up to the balance of whatever. Looking for airbenders, continuing this mission. She's not letting sort of these setbacks get to her like it would have in season 1. Yeah, then I guess we do get to see more of Korra's relationship build with the president, because yeah, he is awful. Season 2, I was hopeful that we were going to get a new president for a public city. Now this guy's turned awful, but again, politician, so it makes sense. There must be an election cycle coming up, because he said he has low poll numbers. Avatar has low poll numbers. So what's he going to do? Shift all the blame onto her. So basically he's trying to navigate the citizens. He's trying to move their anger from him and onto Korra. He's siding with them so that he can just maneuver their hatred and push it to Korra, who doesn't have to worry about an election. He does. But he has made a mistake at the end by getting rid of her, because then all the attention is going to turn back to him. All the hate that the citizens feel, going to go back to him. So that's a big mistake. So I can imagine him coming back to Korra and just groveling for her to come back just so she can take the blame for everything again. I think I just love that she's not letting it get to her, because I like that she's also standing her ground. When the president was about to go off at her at the podium, she stood her ground, fought back, and then even when she gets banished, she still keeps her head high and just goes with it. She's not letting it get to her like it would have happened in season. She's not letting it get to her like she would have in season 1. Then Tenzin. This episode made me so happy for him, because we've gotten to see him go through a lot recently. Season 2, he mainly got to basically learn who he is himself. He's not a reflection of Aang. He's not meant to become Aang. He's meant to be Tenzin. He's not going to disappoint Aang in any way. Aang is already immensely proud of him. Nothing he could do could disappoint his father. So now Tenzin is free to be who he wants to be. So he already feels kind of more free. I love just his interactions with Korra, being that mentor person. And now he has a whole new mission in life, to train the next Air Nation. But that's the tricky thing. He's already saying Air Nation. He's already thinking of a whole country about it. These people are already citizens in their own places, so that's going to be a tricky thing, and it's going to be painful to see that realization come to him. Because there's no way all these people are just going to miraculously give up their home, give up their culture, and come with Tenzin. That's not going to work. So I just hope that we can see him take it well, because I'm sure there's going to be some that will be willing to come with him and start up Air Nation culture again. But right now I think he feels like all of it is. And I do love that this one just shows him being so hopeful, because we are seeing him no longer be the last airbender, the last fully trained one. That feels like a thing of the past now. He has his children, he has Boomy, and he now has a whole world filled with them. So I love that we get to see this moment of happiness for him, but of course it is going to come crashing down, and that's going to be painful to see. Then Marco, it boggles my mind how they're able to drag out the relationship drama. I just want it to be over and just end already. And the way they're continuing it now is through the awkwardness of what's happened between him, Korra, and Asami. I just want this to be over. I want these relationships to just die and just then be friends. Why can't that just be it? Now he's not going back to Airbender Island. He's not living with them. Instead, he's living on the floor of a police station in a sleeping bag under his desk. It's just so sad. He's doing all of that just to avoid the awkwardness between them. They don't seem awkward at all. They've gotten over it. We've got to see their conversation. They're done. They're fine. Marco is, why can't he just get back over there? Because they need to be all together to get this whole thing moving. And with Korra being banished, hopefully he'll go with her and they can just sort this out and just be back as a group and a gang. Get this sorted quickly. I think it's just, it's both impressive and annoying how they've been able to drag out the relationship drama. Even though it's been over and sort of done in season 2, they're able to keep bringing it along. Then Asami. Already this episode's made me so hopeful again, basically for what it did with her. Having her bond with Korra with the driving lessons, perfect, and it's just so good in that it's giving her something to do. It's not like a huge plot-heavy thing. It's early on, first episode, we're getting to see her already do more than she did in season 2. And now I just hope that maybe that relationship can keep growing and they can become good friends. Because right now, I feel like Asami has been defined by, first off, Mako's girlfriend, then the villain's daughter, which was better. But then she got completely forgotten in season 2 and she barely did anything with the group, and it's just sad. She has history with Mako, that's fine. She had a kind of friendship with Bolin with the whole Varric thing. Now they're finally doing something with the last member of the group, Asami and Korra. Get their friendship working, then she'll feel so much better in the group and there will be more that you can do with her. I feel like this should have been done far earlier, but I'm just happy it's getting done now. Finally. I do love the theme for this season being changed, which I did just see. Of course, I knew season 1 was air. I thought season 2 was water, but apparently it is, I don't even remember, spirit. Now this one is changed. Haven't actually seen what the 4th one is, so I'm not going to spoil myself for that. But I love that it's not going through the elements, but now this one is changed. Love that theme, because that's what both Tenzin and Korra are facing right now. I do hope we get to see the conflicts through both of them, but like separately. Tenzin, hopefully his focus is on the airbenders, while Korra's is on the spirit stuff. Those are two big separate issues, and I don't want them to both pile on one and sort of neglect the other. I want Korra, because she needs to be with the spirit stuff. She's going to go with Tenzin and help find airbending. I assume she's going to go with Tenzin and help find airbenders, but her concern should be with the spiritual imbalance in the world and just getting people to work with them. Let Tenzin focus on the airbending, because that's going to be a whole thing for him. But I just love that this is exploring change in such a large way, that basically the entire world has changed fully. And we kind of got to see that with Aang as well. We never got to fully see his past. We saw bits of it, but never like the full thing, what the world was like. We got to hear about it. But then Aang's whole world changed after he woke up after 100 years. And now we get to see a similar thing with Korra, where the world has changed drastically, basically overnight. And now she's got to deal with it. But the difference is with Aang, he had to change to the world because the world had changed and he needed to adapt to it. Korra's world, she changed it. She's the one that caused it and she needs to help the change sort of settle. So it's a really fun way of doing this and just looking at it. And I can't wait to see how it is further explored because it's two massive changes that have happened in the world rather than Aang's seeing a war break out and the just balance be completely messed with. But I hope that it does go into a lot of deep things because that's what we got with Aang. His whole nation had been wiped out. Huge amount of change. Korra, right now, it's spirits and an inconvenienced people. And then airbending. But I'm really hoping some deeper, darker things can come from this change, which she will have to sort of navigate. I do want to see some negative consequences, like some really bad negative consequences come from what she did, but also some really good ones. Because that is the essence of change. That's what Tenzin said. Some people will like what you've done, some people will really not like what you've done. And I want to see some examples of both. Then so here's got to be the most exciting part for me. An airbending villain. That is so cool to think about. Because we've always seen them as, like, I guess, almost the victims of what happened in the 100-year war. That was how we just viewed it. Aang was the pacifist, where his whole nation got wiped out, and they seemed like they couldn't defend themselves, but there's a big history there. We got to see them suffer a lot. They were the ones that you felt sympathy for. Aang would use airbending to defend himself, not really attack anyone. He pushed people away, but he never really did anything to hurt people with it. He just defended people. He was a good guy. That's evident. But now you actually have a villain with the ability to airbend. Because that's something they could have done. I'm trying to think. We had Evil Avatar, but they didn't have any other bending. Now they've actually got an exclusive airbending villain. And we've already seen him use it to lock people up. Not anything really that bad. It's again, His fighting is similar to what Aang would have done, but it's more martial arts, kicking. Like, what nation is this guy from? Still, so many questions about him, and just trying to analyze his style. Because I'm trying to remember how Aang did it. He was movements, moving with the flow of the air. This guy was kicking, jumping, punching. It's so similar to Korra in the style with how she airbends as well. So it's going to be so cool to see what an actual villain can do with a bending style that was basically designed around pacifism and not hurting people. What is the villain's goal? He wants to end the White Lotus and the Avatar. How is he going to do that with airbending? It's made me so excited, and I just think this is such a cool opportunity to do it with. We've seen the Fire Nation be villains. We have seen bloodbending / non-bender / waterbender villain. We've seen another waterbender and an Avatar villain. Now we're getting airbending. Cannot wait to see what this is going to look like. And just from the get-go, he seems like an already incredible antagonist, with him reciting poetry, analysing it and talking to the guards before completely destroying and overpowering them. Plus, he's kept in a very high security prison by himself in solitary, so that already makes me speculate on what on earth this crime could be. I have so many questions, and I cannot wait to see how this all unfolds with him. But yeah, looking at what's next, you got Korra. She's been banished, and I'm assuming she's going to go with Tenzin to find airbenders. I'm hoping all of them go together, really, because that would just seem awesome. Globe-trotting journey, like in ATLA, where we just get to see them all travel the world, find the sort of mess that's happening, because I'm assuming you're going to find a lot of reactions like the guy we saw on the bridge. There's going to be chaos everywhere in all the nations, and I just kind of want to see what the Earth Kingdom and the Fire Nation look like. Finally, we've seen the Water Tribe. Show me the other nations. I want to see what it all looks like and how things have changed after Aang passed. But plus, I also want to see what kind of effect the spirits are having everywhere. That's going to be a global thing. This feels like a global sort of nightmare, really, and that needs to be dealt with. And the two people have to now go across the entire world to find and mess with everything. So I do like how calm this start does feel, in that it's just going to be a little journey thing. We're going to see them go find airbenders, find some little chaos and some trouble, and go find people and sort of help them. That feels so nice compared to, I guess, the start of the last one where you were dealing with a bunch of angry spirits that were messing with everything. This feels just more peaceful. And then Zahir, I cannot wait to see what he does and how that will come into the next episode. Like, how will he meet Korra? How will that go? What's his next move here? He's escaped. What is he going to do? I'm assuming he's going to want to learn more about airbending and his new abilities. So maybe he could, that could be something. He could try and infiltrate what Tenzin's doing. I'm assuming he'd want to find a teacher. Tenzin's the only one. That could be how they meet. Yeah, I don't know. I just know whatever's coming next is going to be so cool, just seeing how airbending has come back to the world. But overall, I really enjoyed this episode. It was a great start to the season. Already has my hopes higher than season 2. They did good with Asami, the villain, the plot. It all feels great in comparison. It feels smaller. It feels more manageable and feels better for the rest of the cast. I love the conflicts that it set up with the spirits, the airbending, and I love how it went into, I guess, the darker aspects of what's going on right now. Spirits not just inconveniencing people, but actually putting people's lives in danger with toppling of buildings, and the airbending being very scary for people because they're not going to see it how we see it. It's basically telekinesis, or them waving their hands and they could send people flying. I love how they're showing this off, and I cannot wait to see what else they have in store for the rest of the world. We're just seeing Republic City. This could be a nightmare in other places. Air mixed with fire, I can only assume, would be a complete disaster. So this start of the season has made me so intrigued, and I just cannot wait to see what on earth they're going to do for the rest of it. But yeah, with that said, that does bring me to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments, and with that, I will see you in the next one for Season 3, Episode 2. See ya!